Wait a minute. Okay. So today is testing Uriel. I built him a while back. It's and I maxed him out already. So he's maxed out by one form already. So he's one up, one forma. So this is the second form I'm going to be, or should I say, I formed him up just once already. So he was at base, now he's formed once, and there's typically a number that's right next to a Warframe when you done more than one formas. I believe this is a new thing they add. So let's see. Let's say for Atlas, yeah. So he's maxed, and 5 is next to the form count, so you know exactly how many times he's been formed. Um, Another way to actually see it, it says 5 here as well. 8 times forma, 5 times, 9 times. Cycle 90, so on and so forth. All the ones that are like in the 20s, those are old Warframes. They've been there for years, for like more than a decade. Like Ember's been around for about a good decade, I say. About 8 years, 8 or 10 years. Um, Hydroid less, or around the same time, I think. And yeah, the point is just to put Uriel, um, seek out Uriel. So search Uriel. Yeah. Okay. So now we're doing Uriel, and I haven't acquired his weapons. I've just been focusing on him. So the first thing I'm going to do is, since this is a test build of his kit, I'm gonna attach any random weapon so I could detach this. I'm gonna first see what I could see. So I just auto did this one and put whatever randoms in there, and we'll see. Typically in Warframe you don't really need shields, but you do need shields depending on the time for which, I guess, the amount of bullets coming at you, or lasers firing at you, or enemies shooting at you. So you do have to have at least a certain amount of shields, or you need to have a lower period of um, overguard. But you have to understand that overguard sequence powers transition, or window, the window for um, uh, overguards. So first, I'm starting off very simple with him. The main reason why I'm playing this is because after careful assessment of what I've been doing over this month, last month, and I realized, well, since I have to focus on my artwork more than anything, and then my job, I can't do much of anything else. When I do get the time, I either play a demo or I play Warframe, and then I go back to another game. But seeing how things are getting tight, with my final exam coming up in February, and I want to do other activities as well, can't really be focusing too much on this stuff. Unless, and someone was telling me I could get into the business of video game trading and stuff, but I'll see what that's all about first. Um, and then, you know, we'll see how that goes. But I've always said if I'm taking any type of video game as a business, and I'm not having fun, and I'm only playing it for making money, and if that's the sole purpose why I'm playing it, then I'm gonna be miserable all the time. So it has to be something that I love, that I think is fun, that's worth doing. Um, It'll probably be like one of those online PC games because I just got my latest PC about a month ago, and so it'll probably be something like World of Warcraft I'm doing on my side. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. If I'm gonna go down the route that this guy told me, it's like, listen, you play games a lot, but you're not a streamer, so why don't you invest in making a side business of video gaming since you're not a streamer and something. It's like there are plenty of people who do it. It's like, all right, but I think that stuff is mostly associated with computers. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to play this and see what I could do with regards to Uriel, and think about that way later. Not like way later. When I have the time, I'll look into it and see how that works. So I really, actually, you know what? Smartest thing for me to do right now is to take off anything that will boost his kit. And then look at him from a base of 0. Alright. Manifest an aura of flames, inflicting heat damage. Tap dodge while airborne. Flight. The dodge button while airborne? Maybe it only works in combat. Yeah, it only works in combat. Alright, you know what? Let me just go to Simulacrum. Not exactly the one I was thinking, but let's see. No, didn't meant to do that. Meant to. That's the dodge. Rolling. It's like a rolling effect. You typically run, you're walking, then you're rolling. Alright, so let's go back to basics. first things first. Now we'll look at everything. Even the music. After so many years, it's been like 10 years since I've heard this music, and it's still good. Like every now and again. This one not so much. This one not so much. This one not so much. This one very good. This one good. This one good. Not so much. I'll be here all day with this, so might as well. Alright, so his basic is 25. His duration is 35, which is very, very long time. Almost half a minute. More than half a minute. Radius is 2 meters. It's not bad. So his drain and his duration is very good for his 1. And his radius is not bad for his 1. His damage, which is 1500 heat, is also not bad for his 1. Damage per second is 250, which is kind of bad. But I believe that's the passive that comes as an extra damage. Okay. Catnet duration is 10 seconds. Not bad at all. Damage a second is 100. And the slow duration is 50%. So I don't think I will ever replace the first ability if I was to do an infusion. Well, in this game it's not an infusion, it's more like a sacrifice. Sacrifice the Warframe's first ability in exchange for another ability. So I think I might keep this one, because everything all around looks pretty solid. 10 seconds is good, especially if you're killing a lot of enemy. 10 seconds is good. Uriel heals himself and his demons. If his demons are dead, they are resurrected. I don't really know what this means. I'm unsure of what this means. I understand what Uriel heals himself and his demons. If his demons are dead, they are resurrected. So, okay, so he heals himself and his demons when they're alive. But when he's healing himself and they die, they automatically get resurrected. Is that what that means? I don't know. It's a bit confusing. Does it mean they'll be resurrected while he's still in the healing mode, or healing himself bring him back to life? This also seems like a good ability, because his second ability not only heals him, but it also heals the demon that are attacking the enemies. So it's kind of like Necros Shadows of the Dead ability, where they're stealing health from Necros in order to survive. But in this situation, they're not stealing health from Uriel to survive. He's giving them health by activating his second ability. They're not gradually taking from him while they're attacking enemies. He gives it to them. So if they're dead, they're dead. But during the process of duration of this, if it's still in this effective duration of 10 seconds, then they'll come back to life if they die. I kind of like that and don't like that a second. I kind of like this better than Necros Shadow of the Dead, but at the same time, don't like it. I don't know if I'm going to keep that one, but the fact that he does a heal, 50% heal towards shields. It doesn't say 50% heal towards health, because that symbol right there at the heal, that doesn't say health, but it does say health. It says health and shields. So that is good. So first ability is good, second ability is good. So would I sacrifice those first two? Might not. Uriel rips out the soul. I might sacrifice this one, because if there are 10 to 15 enemies on the battlefield, enemies to the left of me, enemies to the right of me, he has 3 or 4 demons, I believe. So whichever enemy is in front of him, they get hit by it. Granted, it's a great ability if the enemies that's hit by this is vulnerable to damage. But what about the other enemies that are around him that are not hit by this? Because now your summons are dead, and the enemies that got hit by this are invulnerable, but not the other enemies around. The only thing that's good about this seems to be firing rate of 30%, extra damage of 30%, and buff of, well, 10 seconds. That's good. Demon health drain 10%. 50% vulnerability. So even when they get hit, they don't die. They're now vulnerable 50%. Yeah, I might sacrifice this ability for something more effective, because I don't want them to die. So if I sacrifice this, my demons don't die. And I believe you can sacrifice your fourth ability now. You couldn't do it in the past. Let me read this again. Uriel and his demons create a growing ring, growing ring of flames, brimstone, kind of like Ember's old ability. Charge the ability by utilizing demon abilities. How do I charge it? Damage inflict increase with each consecutive hit. But how do I charge it? If I just cast it once, charge the ability by utilizing demon abilities. Okay, so this is heal demons. This is not utilizing demon abilities. This is for healing demons and yourself. Or maybe you can, by healing demons, this is also utilizing it. Manifest an aura. Inflict heat. Okay. Okay, so this will probably charge this, and this will probably charge this. But if I sacrifice this, then only this will charge this. Because the first one is manifest an aura flame inflicting damage and status effect. But it doesn't say anything about demons. But I believe Katnach is a demon. So it will also, so 1 and 2, Katnach the demon, and Erfagor the demon will also charge the fourth ability. So if I get rid of this one that I don't like, I'm getting rid of this demon. So 1, 2, 2 charge. That's fine. Alright, so this is heal. This is for slowing enemies. And this is for damage inflict increase by consecutive hits. So every time I cast 1 and 2, I increase the charge rate. So when I start shooting enemies, they die even more. Damage per second is 1,500. So if I cast this and this, it would probably charge up to more than 1,500. Multiply, there it is. The multiplier cap is 10x. 10x. Good God, that's a lot. 10 times multiplier of whatever the damage per second is doing. So, well, now I think about it, that's not really a lot. It's 10,000, maybe 11,000. But that is an extra 10,000 fire damage that you're having on you. I don't know. Because if I get rid of the fourth and keep 1, 2, and 3, this one seems the weakest. Because this is just about having your demons charge towards enemies in front of you and making them vulnerable for 50% of their armor and health. They're not fully dead. But all the other enemies around you have not been hit by this. So this is a frontal attack ability, not a 360. Okay, so now I know this. I know the different abilities by name. I'm now going to put auto and put on preferences that I want. And since the fourth is about range, I believe this is fine. This is kind of the same range for like Frost Bubble, so I believe 145 is fine. The multiplier will increase based on ability strength. Streamline could keep my efficiency at 75. I should be fine. And with flow, that should also be fine. I hate those frontal attack abilities, man, because they're not counting for all the enemies that are in the left, far left, and far right of you, and the ones behind you. Okay. Well, he doesn't. I need to farm him some more because I only have 12 capacity. So let's throw on regular intensify. Let's see how that does. Okay, so at beyond 200, at a range of 145 and strength of 229 and a duration of 155 with an efficiency of 75, running with doing melee damage to enemies, melee multipliers to enemies, and coaction drift. Basically, I'm running and hitting enemies instead of shooting them. How would this work out? Let's look. Okay, since my efficiency went from 100 to 75, the drain amount has gone from 25 to 31, which is still not that bad because I have prime flow on. The duration went up by a large amount, 54 seconds, which is almost a minute. That's fantastic. Would it be needed for this first ability, which is blast forward and slowing enemies down? Not really. So duration in this might be kind of useless. But we'll see. Now, because I put that on, because I put these on, his base standards have gone up by many. So we'll see. I think this is fine. Based on the mods I just gave them, this is fine. The duration might be a bit too high for what it is trying to do. If you're within a team of people, they'd be too busy killing everything, so you probably won't need this amount of duration. And the slow has gone up from 50% to 95%, which is very good on enemies. So I might need to lower the duration. The healing, your second demon's effective duration period went from 10 seconds to 15 seconds for your second demon. I believe 10 seconds is fine, to be honest with you. So you might not need duration beyond 10 seconds for the second demon either. Because I'm at a 75% efficiency rather than 100% efficiency, my second ability is now 62%. So 62 plus 30, 60. Okay. Almost 100 for just casting both of these together. But still not too bad, just the duration is a bit high. But I am curious about one thing though. If I remove this duration amount with a 75% efficiency, would it skyrocket more? No, it didn't change. Okay. Alright. 95% or 93%. Okay. So let's say these two are 100 apiece together. This is almost 100 by itself. But I'm planning on getting rid of this one, so I'm not going to pay attention to this one. So let's go to this one. So this and this one are about the same. So I'm fine. Let's say 100 and let's say they are all three of these together are 200. I'm at an energy of 285. So I would have 85 remaining energy to cast just one or two, the first ability and second ability again before I have no energy. And the only time you need to cast something again all over is when your duration time has run out. So perhaps the duration period is necessary, so I don't have to cast it again many times. Okay. So let's look at the fourth now. also 15 seconds. That's weird. So this is 15 seconds. All the demons are 15 seconds. They're all equally on the field at this, having the same duration times. So this demon, Kachna, this demon, a Fagor, this demon, a Thulas, and the fourth ability doesn't have a demon, so he only has 3 demons. Okay, so that's good. The fourth ability is kind of good because it doesn't depend on the demon. Well, maybe it's a bad thing. Um, hmm. The multiplier is what I'm looking at. That's very good. This is why I'm really thinking about not getting rid of this ability. It's 10x multiplier. But then I thought about it, like, okay, so 10 times the multiplier of whatever my primary damage per second strength is, which is 3,000. Let's say it's 4,000. Still not a lot. It doesn't even go past 100,000. But then I look at the third ability, and what does my third demon really do for me? It gives me 68% firing rate, which is very good, and a 68% damage, which is very good, and a 15% debuff, which is also very good. All 3 of these are giving me beneficial things. But the sucky part of this third ability is that when he decides to cast his third ability, all 3 of your demons commit suicide or go seppuku. See, all 3. They even show you inside of the video. So now none of them are on the battlefield, but the enemy is vulnerable for 90%, no, 114% invulnerability or vulnerability. So past 100. This is good for specific enemies it hits, but that specific enemy that it's going to hit are only 3 enemies, or enemies that are within radius of the explosion. So what happens to an enemy to the far left, far right, or behind you? They will never feel that effect, or enemies that are above you. And now you have no demons to do healing, or you have no ability to do your demons to do slow enemies down, because they're all seppuku or commit kamikaze on everybody. I mean, firing rate is great. Damage is also great when you're using your weapons, but you cannot cast your third ability. That's what this thing is telling me. It's telling me if you cast your third, you won't have your first and your second anymore until you decide to recast your first and your second again. So that's purely based on energy. So you would have to have energy to recast your first and your second again to bring your demons back, or at least to recast your second. So you have to have an additional 62 for the first cast and another 62 once you go kamikaze with this one. So you have to have lots of energy. So this is like a last resort type of ability, your third ability. That's why I was thinking about getting rid of it. But then the firing rate is amazing, and the extra damage increase based on your power strength, which is also amazing. His kit is weird, man. Like the one that seems to be the weakest is here, but it seems good because it says 10x. But 10x based on your power strength, and eventually the enemies. So the weakest might actually be the fourth. Now that I think about it, because enemy keeps scaling, getting stronger as you go, and if this caps at 10x of whatever your power strength is, eventually the enemies aren't going to be feeling this. But this is a guaranteed 68 damage and 68 firing rate This demon gives you a guarantee drop of 687 health and 229 health for effective 15 seconds, as long as it's not dead, which means if it dies, you recast it again. But as enemy gets stronger, say an enemy just one-shots your demons, then what is the point of having these demons if they all get one-shotted? So what would be available if you have no demons to back you up? It would be this, or it would be a subsume ability that's not this. The only thing that makes sense is to have a subsume ability to replace this, one, and maybe, based on energy, the easiest one to summon quick and fast without spending a lot of energy is this one, if you have 31 energy remaining. And this one allows you to get out of the way, spin out of the way, without taking severe damage real fast. Kind of a spin to win type thing. So this doesn't seem like something you should get rid of. This seems like an escape route ability. Not only is it a damage per second ability, but it's an escape route ability. Any enemies caught in this flame gets fire damage, but at the same time you're able to run from the enemies. So I think this is the most important one, because this is an escape route. These two. So this is the weakest. Alright. I will now test a 75% efficiency with a prime flow on and just a streamline, and see how long that lasts without this. If I put arcanes on, I could get energy. Well, we'll see how just these two do together with blind rage. And as usual, we're going steel path 20, and we'll see how this plays out. Now typically you don't fight slow, you fight fast. So first, second, and fourth will be cast as soon as I think first and second will be cast first, quickly as possible, and then fourth. If I can't do fourth, if it's a build-up thing, then I'm definitely screwed, because I need something to crowd control. The slowdown works, but it's not really like a crowd control. It's more like an escape route. His kit is very funny, man. It's not really crowd control. We'll see. Let's pick random enemies. Let's make them level 200. The highest I could go for right now. And their steel path level 200. So let's see how this goes. See how long they die. Alright, not good. Takes way too damn long. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. By the time that's one guy is dead, I would have gotten killed if these guys were moving. Not good. At level 200, it takes a full 10 seconds for just one of these guys to die on the still path, with his first and his second ability in conjunction with each other. Not good. Clear. Kill. Alright, so anything beyond 200 kills one guy in like 10 seconds based on just power alone, not you shooting them. If I was shooting them, that number would drop down to probably 2 seconds per guy. So that'll be 1 second for 2 seconds for one guy, 2 seconds for another guy, 2 seconds for one. Done. So 5 guys, I'll be able to kill 5 guys before they kill me. Still not good. The duration is pretty damn good though. It stays on them pretty long. So let's try. Sole objective is to test powers. The weapons will just be something that you randomly have. I need to see just the powers killing them alone. Let's crank this baby all the way up. He doesn't have any Archon charge on him because he's fairly new. So I'll see how he will do with as many power mods as I could put on. Typically you would have let's try this, but that's not enough, so still not enough. Okay, and then okay, this is the best I could do based on just one forma. Get him to 300, past 300. Now we'll see what this does. Now, granted, he has no health on and he doesn't have rolling guard on. So rolling guard is an essential thing to have on Warframe to escape damage. So if I put rolling guard here, but I don't put any health on, I'm depending solely on this health ratio. Oh, actually no, it's here. What am I talking about? Alright, but he doesn't have shields, armor on. But it doesn't really matter because this is not an armor guy. What the hell would this do? You know, even if I put all 3 of these on together, which would boost your armor up, this will only get this armor up to 341. With this, all 3 of them in conjunction together. This is not an armor Warframe. So there's no point for armor. I mean, it helps a little. Maybe it really does help. That 100, they'll just cut through that like butter. Jesus. Alright. But now I'm depending solely on 556 to survive. Knowing well they could cut through 200. Enemies could cut through 241. Christ almighty. Okay, I would have to umber this Warframe up fully and get rid of this for this to work, and put him here, and that will keep me above the ratio I am right now. Alright, so let's just go with what we got for right now and see and test this on enemies and see how many seconds does killing an enemy off the steel path at level 200 does. So let's simulate again. This time we'll increase the number to 200. Wait, I thought I killed them all. Now I did. Okay. Pick enemy. Pause AI. We're now at ability strength 300. God damn it. Let me get rid of Warframe. Warframe whole thing is to knock people backwards. Alright, now first you. But now look at that, I can't cast the second ability, so that is no bueno. Just one ability to be able to cast at 75 with a flow on? No fucking way. So let's look at it. Yep, don't even have enough. 62 and 30 with just an energy of 200 don't cut it. You need prime flow. It just doesn't work. So let's just go with 300 and see what 300 does with the prime flow. It won't work with regular flow. $285. I'll still have a little bit extra. So let's try. Alright. I'll try the gunner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That is terrible. Okay, so for the gunner, the ability wore off. The 15 seconds wore off. That is terrible. So even at 300 power strength, and you need rolling guard here to make sure you don't get killed. You may not need this, but you need some type of armor. Let's say you put rolling guard here, and let's say you put this here. Based on the assessment of that enemy, an extra 22 or extra 33 ain't gonna do much, because at just 10 seconds with your ability alone, you still have more than 25% of his health, the gunner. So let's say within 20 seconds, no, 30 seconds, that gunner dies. Let's try that out. So your sole purpose, if you're shooting just at the gunner, it would take you 5 seconds to kill the gunner after you initiate your first and your second ability. A gunner at level of 200 on the steel path, 5 seconds. So you now spend 5 seconds just to kill one gunner. Well, let's just say you're just shooting the gunner in the head. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Let's say you have a weapon in your hand. Your weapon is your melee weapon or your gun. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say that took 10 seconds. It would take you with your gun or your weapon 1 second to kill him. Okay. The heavy gunner and the bomber wear ferret armor, which is alloy based. I mean, not alloy, ferret armor, which is mainly designed to resist radiation. That's why it's taking them a while to die. Or is it wrong? Am I wrong? I think it's alloy armor to resist radiation. They have thicker armor than anybody else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's say 10 seconds. I mean 20 seconds. So the gunner took about maybe 25 seconds and the bomber takes 20 seconds. So evaluating that, I would say it would take 3 seconds for a headshot to a gunner and 2 seconds if you're using a weapon to headshot to a bomber. Let's just say they're on the battlefield. There's nothing but heavy gunners and heavy bombers. So 3 seconds killing everyone in the head. So that's 3 seconds for one, 3 seconds for another, 3 seconds for another, 3 seconds for another, 3 seconds to another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5. You'll be able to kill 5 enemies with your first and your second abilities that are of the heavy gunner and bomber types. If there were heavy gunner and bomber types on the battlefield along with other enemies, 5 of them. But let's say there's no heavy gunners or bomber on the battlefield, or random, like say butchers and chargers or mowers or whatever. It would take them less time. So it would take you less than 15 seconds to kill 5 of those guys, heavy gunners or bombers, with your gun and your powers. With your powers alone, it would take you, as you see, takes about 25 seconds for just one of them and 20 seconds for a bomber. So based on powers alone, you will be dead right after you kill the second bomber. No, you'll be dead right after you, if you're utilizing the rolling guard, you'll be dead right after you kill the 5th heavy gunner or 5th heavy bomber. It were nothing but heavy bombers and gunners. So you would kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, now you're dead. That's not too bad. That's not too bad now I think about it. At enemy level of 200 on the steel path, that's not too bad. Utilizing the rolling guard allow you to survive just a few seconds longer. So I roll, I survive a few seconds longer. Not longer than the time it takes me to kill 5 of them, but at least long enough for me to kill at least 15 more of them if I'm utilizing the rolling guard correctly. So a total of 15 if there was nothing but heavy gunners. Total of 15 heavy gunners if I'm utilizing the rolling guard correctly. If not, it will be a total of 10 heavy gunners before I go down, utilizing my weapons and my first and second ability with nothing but headshots. And that's hard. So let's say I'm not doing headshots, just doing body and headshots and whatever. It would take me 5 to kill nothing but heavy gunners and heavy bombers. 5 before I go down. I'll prove it. I'm going to first use my melee weapon, then I'll use a gun. Clear this field. I might be able to kill 5, but I also might not be able to kill 5. I'm doing things based on the fact that I'm spot on accurate with headshots. If I'm not spot on accurate with headshots, I might not get past the 2 of them. So everyone's cleared off. There's no enemies on the field. I'll take this off. And I'm gonna put the rolling guard on. I'm not going to put on Warframe. Because Warframe does remove status effect on you and push enemy back. With Warframe, you might be able to survive a bit longer. Actually, to make this video short, I'll probably will throw Warframe on. Okay, so now I have rolling guard, and I will also put on Warframe. And Warframe has this ability, prevents status effects from applying for 5 seconds. So you now have 5 seconds, and rolling guard gives you 3 seconds. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should pray that your Warframe does his little 5 seconds before your rolling guard takes effect. That way you could utilize both the 5 and the 3 together. Alright, so that should be that. Let's see how much energy I have. I'm gonna go in with the 241, and not gonna put on any arcanes. And then afterwards I'll put on arcanes. I'm doing a melee one. The melee weapon's not the greatest and might not be best for killing Grineers, so, or corrupted. So let's go with something that's fast but also kills pretty good. This will take down shields pretty quick, and it does have a high crit value, but it's slow as shit. Let's see how this does first, and then we'll break past their armor with corrosive rather than with I was thinking maybe if I break past with heat, because the nice little thing about Warframe, if an enemy's on fire, they do this stupid little animation where they're throwing their hands up in the air because their body's on fire, which means they're not shooting at you, which is great. We'll see. Alright, this is just with melee weapon, not with rifle. Oh man, I'm so scared. I think this guy might only be able to kill 2 of them. His kid doesn't feel like it's the most confident of the whole lot, man. What the hell? I didn't... Shit. Well, I was completely wrong. Completely wrong. At level 200, enemies at level 200 on the steel path of all different enemy level types, he decimated them with just using his first and his second ability. All 20 enemies. So I was completely wrong about that. But now that I know I'm completely wrong about that, I am now going to see how I could include, since I need more energy to cast the fourth ability, how can I include more duration time? Or armor. I'm going to go with health this time over armor, and see how I could get 300 is good. So I was completely wrong. 300 is good. When you start using your weapon, you don't just kill 5 of them. I believe you could kill all 20 of them and not go down when you start using your weapon. So I was completely wrong about that. I thought I might be able to only kill 5. You kill all 20 of them with ease at 300 power strength and with just a melee weapon. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so let's try something. Would I still be able to kill all 20 at 205 steel path with less than 300 power strength without this, so I could have more efficiency here? But I'm able to increase it using other factors. Let's get it to, let's try 250 instead of 300 and see how that works. And then instead of, no, but that doesn't work. Okay, let's try this. Let's try something beyond 275, and we're able to have rolling guard, we're able to have health, and pot, and we're able to have let's see, so now, and we're able to have 100 efficiency with the prime flow, but now we have to increase the duration period. Let's try, no, that's definitely not good. Try that, but this will only allow you to do so only allow you to do first and second ability. So you have to depend on Arcane Energize to cast the fourth. Let's try battery as well. duration is much longer, but the strength is lower. I'm going to put coaxial drift here, so I can kill a little bit faster. And I'm going to put rolling guard here. And we'll see how this works. Now let's see where we are. It feels almost about the same. The slow duration is almost about the same. Health drops is not as great as it was, but the 10 seconds and the 15 seconds is not that big a deal, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not worried about the fourth ability too much. So the first and second are doing their job. I only need to have enough energy to initiate the fourth ability. So we'll go like we did before, and we'll see how that works using the Fragor. At a 278 power strength. Using the same enemies, but this time at 278, but with other arcanes attached as well. Would I be able to kill all 20 of them like I did before at 278? And now with arcanes, would I be able to cast a fourth now, adding the arcane energize? We'll see. Yes, it's about the same. They died about equally as fast. No big difference. So I believe it's best that in order to retain efficiency, I am going to take off this. I'm going to put on this. My duration will be lowered, but I'm now going to have even lower strength and lower duration, but I'm not going to lower my duration period. I'm going to increase my duration period. So now I don't have to depend on having 75% efficiency. I have the full 316 energy, which now has me at 25, 50, 75, and 75. I could put an efficiency mod on, but I have energizer on the prime flow and see how this goes. Um, and since his fourth ability is based on range, I'll see how this works by putting a stretch on here and see once again if I could kill enemies equally as fast as I did with just a melee weapon. With even less power, strength, and possibly, I believe less duration would be a bad thing. But all your... they go up by 12 seconds. I really don't think I need... yeah, 7 seconds is no good. Alright, so... Um, okay. The standard 10 seconds is fine, I believe. So now I could throw something here. Let's say I throw... wait a minute. Now I think about it. The longer the fire stays on an enemy, based on the range, the longer they are on fire. The closer I get to them, the longer it takes for them to shoot at me, the closer I get to them. So I'm going to put range here to close the gap with regards to the time enemies are shooting at me to the time they get affected by the fire. This should be fine. Now, it all depends on if they die equally as fast at 234, same as 300. If they die equally as fast. The thing that's doing all the work is the fragor, but the duration time for which they're killed with the powers has probably dropped from 20 to 25 seconds with just the first and second power alone to now to a full half a minute or maybe even more. But in Warframe you never wait for anyone for a full 20 seconds anyway. You go in and kill. So maybe 134 isn't good, but we'll see how that does if they die equally as fast. But here's the thing though, it's so weird. It's hard to get rid of this guy's third ability because all three of the demons work in tandem with their powers. They're linked together, all three of their powers. The fourth is the only one unassociated with the demons. The first is associated with the demon Katna. The second was Gophargor or Golfagor or Yalthalas or Vathalas. All three of them are doing something at the same time while they're on the field. So getting rid of one of them is taking that power or that player out of the loop. Thus your trifecta of effect won't work in tandem with each other. So I believe the only ability that you should take away is the fourth. But we'll see how the fourth does and whether you really need all trifecta of them or not. They are all connected to each other, so maybe it'll be unwise to get rid of the third. Or maybe it doesn't matter. Like if I literally subsume the third ability or get rid of the third ability and replace it with something else, maybe the trifecta of the three demons will still be in effect. You just can't use the kamikaze ability. That won't make sense either. Because the kamikaze ability is just part of it. The firing rate ability is also necessary. Yeah, so the only thing to subsume on this guy is the fourth. But I'll have to see. I will have to see. Alright, so let's try this again. One last time. And then I go to do my dailies. I'm using these same weak enemies at level 200 because I want to see how it works with just standard enemies. Next time I'll use it against Steel Path elite enemies, like I also have to build up my damn freaking simulacrum, man. It's been a while now. Okay, let's just pick corrupted heavy gunners. Let's pick 20 of these guys. Okay. I got all my abilities now. Alright. These are the fastest firing enemies in the game. That's why I'm picking them. And now we're going to see how they work. Level 200 on the Steel Path. It's taking a bit longer. So below below 250 it takes a bit longer. Right? Below 250 it takes a bit longer. So you might, like, if you're playing as this character, you might want to have him at least at 250. Because I was going at the same speed that I went before with the last one, but the enemy died took a bit longer, about a good 15 to 20 seconds longer at 234. Beyond 250, they died about 20 seconds earlier. So yeah, I believe the lowest this character should be is maybe a 254. 250 and above is where this character should be, his power strength. because that one took about a good 20 seconds more, and that's just me just mucking around, taking my time and just swing ridiculously. So yeah, I would say 250 is the least this guy should be at. Um, for enemies that are level 200, maybe level 200 to 300, 250 is the bare minimum you should have. Anything below enemy level 200, this is fine, no problem. Alright, so since I'm done with that, I'll see if I could. And another thing too, I was trying to do my fourth ability, but I realized I couldn't do my fourth because I didn't cast my third. So we'll see. I was trying to do it and I realized, why the hell am I not doing this? So we'll see again. So now, still not enough energy. Now can I do it? I can't do it. Okay. Okay, so the blood meter has to go up, apparently. Okay, so I have to wait for the fourth ability to initiate. So I would have to cast the first, second, and third ability twice to initiate the fourth. Because see, the fourth cannot go. It's not working. But increase a little the moment I cast the third. But it didn't go up. I can't cast the motherfucking fourth. I have to wait till the blood go all the way up, which means I have to kill a lot of enemies just for the fourth to go all the way up. That's like some Nidus type shit. He doesn't become invulnerable until his fourth is cast. I mean, till his thing is all the way up. Ain't no way I'm gonna wait for a meter to go up. And ain't no way I'm gonna cast an ability of all three of these characters more than twice just to do the fourth. No, I'm getting rid of the fourth ability. So that's basically it for Uriel. His worst ability is probably the fourth one, because you literally have to wait for it. You have to charge it. It says here, charge the ability by utilizing demons' abilities. So you would have to use the first, second, and third multiple times. Maybe double. You have to use the first twice, the second twice, and the third twice, just for this to go up. Or you would have to increase your power strength so that if your power strength is beyond, you know what, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to increase my power strength and see if the fourth ability initiates higher. I'm going to do that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put what I had on before, and I'll see how many times I cast the first and the second past 300 in order for that meter to rise. This is the only way to safely test this, because the fourth ability seems to be the worst, simply based on the fact that you have to literally wait. I'll have to take Rolling Guard off and put this on just so I could do the... Oh no, no. How about this? No, that's not right. Not thinking. Come on, not thinking. Come on. There it is. Alright. Alright, so... So we'll see. This is the last test. We'll see. We'll see if this stupid fourth ability will rise fast enough once I cast the first, second, and third. Because it says here, charge the ability by utilizing demons. So you cannot use the fourth until you use the motherfucking first, second, and the third. And it has to be charged. So we'll see if that charge will go faster with power strength. Otherwise, if it don't, and I'm already past 300 power strength, I'm getting rid of the fourth. So let's put on more enemies, full 20, and try this again. Oh, wait a minute, I screwed up. Okay, there. Now I got it. Let's look at that meter. Well, I ain't seen nothing happen. Come on, meter. Why are you taking so long to build? Is it based on the amount of enemies I kill fast? So killing fast will make it rise? Okay. Worm is dead. Worm is dead. Based on how fast I kill. Come on. Where are you? Really? Really? Where are my enemies? Where are my enemies? Fourth ability. They're all dead already. So by the time your fourth kicks in, as you see the flames that's under the three little icons right there, marking your three demons. By the time your fourth ability kicks in past 300 power strength, you already killed 20 enemies that are level 200 steel path. So the harder the enemy is, the longer it will take for you to build your fourth ability. The easier the enemy is, the easier it will be for you to build your fourth ability, because there'll be so much enemies that you kill, it'll just go up faster because they're so easy. So the stronger the enemy is, the longer it takes you to build it. So who needs that fucking ability? Because I killed them before the fourth even became a thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do all this to the enemy, kill all the enemies around me, but there's nobody around to kill using the fourth. Awesome ability. Oh, fourth ability could kiss my ass. It will be subsumed. Look at this. Strength of 300. With strength of 300, all three abilities were cast. And still, with all three ability cast and me killing all the enemies, it still took a long time for that fourth to build up. And after they all died, after I killed the last enemy, then it was activated. It's a weak ability, the fourth. So that's it for Uriel's kit. Get rid of the fourth ability. It's completely garbage. You could use a better crowd control than that. Use someone else's ability for the fourth. The third is awesome, but you shouldn't use the third unless you damn near have to. It makes enemies vulnerable for 154, but your demons go kamikaze and you can't use them for a while until you have to summon them again using first and second. Or I mean, not again using your first with the second ability. So you have to use your second to summon them again, or they come back to life again automatically on their own. But there's a duration period by the time they go kamikaze disappears to the time they reappear. Third ability, awesome. 95% firing rate to firearms. 92% firing rate to firearms. 92% extra damage. Awesome. Second ability, great. Health drops. The moment you cast the second ability, you get 962 health drops. And you're not going to be standing in one place the whole time. You're going to be spinning around killing enemies, so you don't, and you'll have rolling guard on you, so you don't have to worry, so you pick up your health over time. First ability is your escape ability. If you run out of energy, you don't need energy to cast the fourth ability. The fourth ability is a cast ability, but his passive is not a cast ability. Jump up in the air, you bullet jump, and then you roll when you bullet jump, or propel, or not roll when you bullet jump. You double jump, and then you roll. But it only works when enemies are around. It doesn't work when no enemies are around. You just spin like this. So this ability only works when an enemy is around. The passive, where you don't use any of your energy. So the first ability is definitely a win, because if you want to escape from getting shot up, you just keep doing this in the air. So you don't get rid of the first, you don't get rid of the one that gives you health, and you don't get rid of the one that gives you 90 something firing rate at 300. Hell, even if it gives you 50% fire rate, additional fire rate to your weapon at maybe like say 230, that's still great. This doesn't do jack shit. All it does is give you a brimstone multiplier cap of 10 times that of your damage per second, which just sounds great, but when you get into really, really strong enemies, it won't be great. Plus it has a build-up ratio based on charging. So nope. That's it for Uriel. I'm heading back. Uriel is an average Warframe at best. He has 3 great abilities and 1 shitty ability. That's an average Warframe. A great Warframe is a Warframe that has all of their abilities. That's great. That you don't really need to subsume it. Well, let me correct myself. Uriel is a slightly above average Warframe because he has 3 ability, but he's not really S tier. He's more like A or B plus tier. S tier would be a Warframe that uses all their 4th ability. Like Trinity would be considered an A tier to an S tier Warframe. Mesa could be considered an A tier to an S tier Warframe. Banshee could be considered an A tier Warframe. Saren could be considered an S tier Warframe or an A to an S tier Warframe. Revenant is an S tier Warframe. Wukong is also considered from A going to an S tier Warframe. Same as who else? Who else is a real tanky boy? Grendel is an A to an S tier Warframe. What other Warframe? I used to think Nova was A tier, but she dies too easy. I believe she's B plus tier. But I never consider her to be top Warframe anyway. She's good for escaping and crowd control, but I believe she's B plus. Nyx is an A. Here's the thing: any Warframe that has an ability that makes them invulnerable to damage, and you know how to exploit them, always getting energy returns, is always going to be an S tier Warframe. Her, Valkyr, so on. But the thing is with Valkyr, her damage doesn't do much of anything. That's why you still keep her at A. Where Nyx is S because her orb around her just makes her not take damage. But you could use your weapons or your melee when you're killing enemies. Whereas Valkyr, when you turn on her fourth, you can't use your melee and your weapons. But then again, I think they tweaked it where you can. Where the fourth is on, where she goes into rage, but now you could use your guns and weapons while it's still on. So Valkyr might have gone from C to A tier. Yeah, and of course Temple is S tier, obviously. Trinity can be considered A to S tier, depending on how you use her. Because I survive past very strong enemies, but past a certain time, if you're not fast enough, she will die. So I believe she's still A to S tier in between. A lot of people say Volt is S tier, A tier, but that dude freaking is weak. He's only S tier and A tier because he has a multiplier on his shields. His shields doesn't protect him 360. He only protects him on the frontal, and he only works on certain bosses. Um, Zaku's pretty A to S tier because he strips enemies of their weapons and stuff, but he lacks armor. I say Uriel. Uriel is probably A tier. I don't think he's S tier. Based on what I've seen, I think he's A tier because he has to close the gap with regards to the enemy in front of him. His attacks is a frontal attack, not a 360. So he's anywhere from B plus to an A tier. I don't consider him S based on that test run right there. If you work in a subsumability, I believe you could get him to A plus. But I don't think he's S tier. No. I ain't even gonna talk about Uriel. She kissed my ass. Alright, so now I'm gonna do my missions. And since I have to, I think he has to level up. I mean, the thing is why a lot of people might consider him to be S tier, I don't, is because his first ability allow him to just spin out of taking damage. Like if he's about to die, all he has to do is that and run away. And at the same time, while he's doing that, if an enemy hits him while he's in the middle of doing that, where they're flying on the ground, they're now on flames, so they're stunned and they're slowed based on this ability. So the moment you turn on the second ability and then you do this, they're now not only taking fire damage, they're also being slowed. So that to me is S tier, as well as this is S tier. This is to me is C tier, and this to me is simply D tier. So this could go anywhere from C to B tier, and this is straight up D tier. So this Warframe has one complete fail ability and one C level ability. So in all truth, he's only magnificent on 2 of his abilities and average on 1. So I can't really call him an A plus Warframe He's more of a B plus to an A minus Warframe. At best, he's an A minus. I believe he's more like a B plus. But you can get him to A. I believe he can be you can be reaching A. So I give him the benefit of the doubt, and I call him a B plus to A minus Warframe. Benefit of the doubt. I would have to see other people's gameplay to call him a solid A tier Warframe. Otherwise, I'll still just keep him at a B plus at best. So now I'll just level him up because he's unranked. All that wasn't rank stuff, that was simulation stuff. And I'll remove, because I'm leveling up, I don't need 300 power strength anymore. Rolling guard. I'm so happy they're including the search thing, so you don't have to go through. Whoever thought about this be like, I don't understand why people in Visual Extreme didn't think about this from the very beginning. Like every time you create these mods, it duplicates over and over again, that it becomes so many. Alright, so I'm going to level up, then I'll do my dailies. Oh yeah, and just so you know, whoever watched this video, I'm gonna probably be playing Warframe more often than I usually do, because of work, because of design. Those two functions are my main priority. I only have time to do Warframe and maybe every now and again do a demo. So I might, in the rest of February, it might just be Warframe and the rest of Bloodborne. I'm not even gonna mess with World War Z, for the simple fact that Saber Interactive does not have, and I repeat, if anyone's interested in buying that Walking Dead DLC, Saber Interactive does not have a PlayStation 4 version of the Walking Dead DLC for World War Z. They do not have it. Do not listen to what AI fucking robot that you type in on the internet tells you. AI is dumb. When people say AI make the world a better place, it's stupid, because it can't even tell if something is actually there or not. It's just going off word of mouth based on algorithm of some people who don't even play the game. So it's see, AI just takes what information that's given. So you could lie to AI and it doesn't know a lie or not, because it's not there to physically see it. People don't know how terrible AI is. Do not depend on AI for answers. It will always give you the wrong thing if the right thing isn't actually there based on physical testing. The world will be a very, very dumb future if people come to depend solely on AI to answer all their questions. Literally, I looked it up and the AI stupid Gemini answers that World War Z was on the PlayStation 5 and can be played on PlayStation 4. I go get it. Not there. You know what else Gemini told me? The stupid chatbot Google Gemini. It says freaking Path of Exiles 2 can be played on a MacBook Air. Well, I got a MacBook Air about a year ago. Turns out that's not fucking true. It's not compatible. You know what else is not compatible with a MacBook Air? Warframe. Most of these video games that you play on PlayStation 4 or 5 or Xbox, they're mostly compatible with Microsoft. Freaking Steve Jobs shit. Mac? Chrome? Nope. Whenever you hear people are doing stuff in PC, it's more than likely that they're playing on a Microsoft PC. More than likely. Because most games cannot be played on Mac or Chrome. I know this because there's people who charge you to get your Mac configured with Windows 10 in order to play Windows freaking video games. I can't believe it. It's like, this is goddamn Apple, and their shit is not even compatible to play Warframe or other mainline video games. It's unbelievable. And don't be fooled if anyone tells you this, they're lying. Because I got a straight MacBook Air, a laptop, and it's not compatible. Trust me.
That's the last of them. Objective is secure.
And I feel sorry for the guys who make business out of making business out of video games, because you know they're paying subscription fees just to have their Mac or whatever computer they're using that's not Windows to be compatible to play Windows games, because you could play these games on Steam that allows you to use Windows, but if you want to play them on Mac or any other devices that's not Windows, you have to play some separate third party to get your Mac configured to play Windows or your Chrome, because it doesn't work. You know what else don't work? I was looking it up too. Freaking Final Fantasy 14. Sorry for those guys who do that as well, because not only do you have to pay a subscription to Final Fantasy to play their online game, you then have to pay to have it configured to use on Mac to get configured to play the It's crazy. Like, somebody's making money in dough. Like, oh my god. I was looking up all these video games that you can play on Mac. You can't play Fortnite on Mac, it's not configured. Go figure. I'm looking up all the free-to-play games to play on Mac, you see. Because if it's not free-to-play, you have to play the PlayStation Plus $10 every month to multiplayer with people so you could do in-game trade. So even if it does play on Mac, you still have to play PlayStation, because only free-to-play games don't charge you a month subscription fee so you could do multiplayer.
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
Weathering Waves. That's one you can play on the MacBook and also on Chrome. It's configured. It's in the Steam. You can play there. Like, that's the one game that's configured for Microsoft, configured for Apple, and configured for Chrome. So you can play that on any computer, as well as on PlayStation. I'm thinking about checking that game out. World of Warcraft is officially just for PCs. Yeah. Fallout 76 is not compatible for the Mac. I tried to look that up too. As well as not for Chrome. So if you're thinking, oh, you're going to get a Mac or Chrome and play Fallout 76 on your Mac or Chrome, nope, it's not going to happen. It's not compatible. Elder Scrolls Online is compatible on Mac. But guess what? Elder Scrolls Online is not free to play. So you would have to pay your $10 for the PlayStation Plus to do multiplayer. Oh man, business is funny. I've been doing a lot of research today, a lot of research on the business of video game and how people do pay to win, pay to progress, scams. On my off time, that's what I've mainly been doing, or should I say, on my free time. And I'm saying it in this video so people could know ahead of time whether they're part of my channel or not, or my clan. Like, don't waste time thinking it's gonna happen, because it's not. World War Z is also in the Steam and on PlayStation, but is also not compatible towards the Mac. Yeah. Most of the zombie games are not either. It's so weird, man. We're talking about Apple here. Apple. And most video games cannot be played on Apple devices. Go figure. So I was saying before, he jumps into the air and he propels using the dodge button, and that's what I meant. He's not in combat, he can't do it. His first ability. And another reason why his first and seconds are so important, look at how many health orbs are on the floor from his second ability. Another reason why he's a B plus to A tier. It's a fun ability. It's fun spinning in the air, but it doesn't do much past fun. His sole purpose of his first ability is his demon. Slow damage of 95% towards enemies. Alright, so after this I'm gonna do my dailies. I level up and I'm gonna do my dailies. I'm pretty sure I'm not at maximum of 30 because I didn't select the affinity boost at the relay station, which I should do right now. But I'm not going to do that today because it's already 2 hours in. The whole purpose today was to test Uriel's kit, and he's anywhere from a B level Warframe to an A minus level Warframe. So I'm just going to do standard missions, and I will go to the rail location simply to get the affinity boost, and then I'll do dailies. If the dailies are easy, I'll do them. If the dailies are a bit difficult, I won't do them. And I might do 2 of the Predator Rebellion. If not, I'll just do 1 Predator Rebellion. But as a standard, as I said before, I'm going to be playing Warframe more frequently than other games, simply because I don't have time anymore to play any other games except maybe demos. That and Bloodborne. So for the month of February, it's just going to be this game, demos, and Bloodborne. That's all I could think about. I was told about to stay away from Raid Shadow Legends because that's very much a pay to progress game, and I checked it out for myself. That game is really more than just a pay to progress game. That game is also more like a gambling type game, because you're really, it feels like you're gambling. It doesn't feel like you're just paying to progress. It feels like you're gambling. I checked it out on my mobile device for a week most, and I level up certain characters, and you know what's going to happen to those certain characters? Nothing. They're going to stay there forever in limbo. And then the people back at their office in the company, in Raid Shadow Legends office, Plurium, that's their name, Plurium's office, they're going to say, this guy hasn't been on for like more than 2 years. But yet he's still in our system. That's right, Plurium. Fuck your game. I know all about your game. Your game is for gamblers. It won't flat out say it. But yeah, I know what that's all about. Every time you see these guys playing Raid Shadow Legends giving promo codes, that's to help them get money. So they can make their life easier. But you ain't gonna get shit other than giving player money all the time. And the only way you get your money back from playing Raid Shadow Legends, if you were to become like them. Nah, mobile games are simply a rip-off. Best is to stay in your system that you're playing. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, golden there. Or online playing on your PC. Whether you're a Mac or whether you're a Windows. Mostly you should play on Microsoft because most of the games are compatible for Microsoft. Warframe is compatible with Microsoft because for some goddamn reason everyone believes Microsoft is the default for video games. Like there are no other type of PCs other than Microsoft PCs. But who knows, who cares? Alright, so dailies, yes. If any was given. I remember some guy telling me that shit too. You're like, well, you're playing all these video games, you got a channel with all this stuff there, and you're not making any money off of it. It's like, you're stupid and stuff. You're like, man, I don't do what you do. I don't look in my mirror every day, wake up, and think how I'm gonna make money off people. So my life could be more comfortable. Not liking what I'm doing, but I'm doing it for the dough, not for the love. You know? Like, if you're gonna do something, you gotta love it, man. And you know when they're saying that they love video games, that's why they do it and they're making money for it? It's not true. It's not true at all. Because you could see it in their face when streamers, especially those ones that watch movies and do movie reviews and then they have a video game channel. Someone had to recommend them to get that shit because they weren't thinking about it before. Like, motherfucker, man. And the horse they rode in on.
You have only 12 minutes before the memory of the Hunhullus itself will arise to drag you under.
I make money elsewhere. I make money on my little side hustle, and I make money from my job as well. Video games is not my side hustle. It's my lifestyle and my savior. My plug-in or my outlet. It is not my money maker. I do that shit in other things. I have so much games on this channel simply because it's something I love. If video games become something that I consider a business I want to make money off, and then I'll slowly start to get miserable. Because I would have to wake up to make money rather than to love the thing that I'm doing. It can be both, but I have 3 different things, 3 side hustles and a job. There's a room for making another side hustle called video games, which require hours. It just isn't. Trust me, there are side hustles. Some people use the system as a side hustle. Those people on SNAP benefits and all that stuff. Other people use surveys to do side hustles. Other people sell video game items, like the dude selling me stuff in Elden Ring. I'll never forget that shit. He won the real world currency for one of those shields. I say, how the fuck did they making money doing that? He's like, yep. And they don't love video games, they're just doing that as a side hustle. Some people just do Amazon deliveries with their own personal car, side hustles. There are plenty of side hustles out there without answering to a boss. Or do you answer to a boss, but the boss ain't someone that's telling you you're fired? The boss is someone that is just saying you need to meet your quota. And if you don't meet your quota, you just don't get enough money. But you're never fired, you just get little money. Side hustles are great. They're not jobs, and they can't fully pay the bills, but they are simply there to give you extra money. But I will say this, if you see me playing Withering Waves, that probably would be my side hustle. If you start seeing me playing Withering Wave, that would probably be my first video game side hustle. Because it's compatible with Mac and Microsoft PCs, and it's on Steam, and it's cross-compatible. So that would probably be the game. And Withering Waves is a gacha game, just like Genshin Impact, I believe. So it'll be my first ever gacha game. But that will be in the future. Probably not this year, or if it is this year, it'll be months from now, or a month or two from now, just to check it out, not to try to make a living from playing. I'm late to the video game side hustle game, but like I said, I don't play video games for dough. I play for the love and for the outlet. And I'm goddamn sure I'm not fake as shit. Telling people I love video games, and you know it's all about the dough for them. Alright, let me talk less and start concentrating more and kill more.
to HQ.
I've waited long enough. Let us try Warframe loose.
Won back your memories from the Void's corruption. Chaos has lost this battle.
Alright, so I'm gonna do one daily, and I'll probably call it a day. I took like about an hour, no, 2 hours. I took 2 hours to test Uriel's kit with and without mods on, and with and without arcanes. So, and I did a very, very careful test of how his abilities work, with powers and without powers, and how each abilities synergize with each other, and which is the most useful, which is the weakest. Yeah, so the third and the fourth are the weakest, but the fourth I would say is the weakest. And if you were to subsume one, you would either subsume the third or the fourth, and definitely probably the fourth more than everything, because the three um, are in conjunction. The three demons are linked to each other. So removing one of them probably would sever that link if you were to subsume. So the only thing you can really subsume is the fourth. Yeah. So I'll probably do one of these dailies, a quick one, and then call it a day, because I'm not sure what time it is. Oh yeah, it's after 12. So this is the point where I have to do my work. I'll just do 3 hours of my work, and then I'll go to sleep probably around 3 o'clock, 3:30. So this will be my last one. Sure, Hydralist. Well, that all depends on the time of day. I think that takes a while though. And this might take a while too. Complete 4 different bounties in Zaraman. Okay, so this is like the quickest. This is about the quickest. Destroy a cruise ship with forward artillery. I have to remember where that is. Um, yeah, I think the 4 bounties are quite easy. You just keep doing capture abilities, and boom, there's your 4 bounties in Zaraman. Where's yeah. Okay. So like I was saying, if you're going to go like, if you're going to like get into the business of video game and making money off video game, and you're not going to monetize yourself on YouTube or on Twitch, because that requires you to have a lot of subs and a lot of followers, you have to go the other route where you have to do things related to video game trading and that stuff. And that also requires a lot of something which I like to call patience. Because you have to do all the work in the video game. Like in Elden Ring, you have to do all the work to find all that shit, go through all that hard work, and then you have to give it to someone else who don't want to go through all that work for a fee. But it is what it is, you know. That's the route you could go. But yeah, that's not really my thing. And if I do go that route, it'll probably be very limited, and it is, those stuff are completely legal. Otherwise, if it wasn't legal, there's still, people wouldn't be still doing it for years through certain websites and stuff. But I don't want to talk about that stuff anyway, because I don't mess with that. But if I am, it will probably be into a gacha game like Wuthering Waves or something like that. But I will have to do more research on that stuff first. So I'm going to do this last mission, and I'll call it a day. Typically, typically you don't talk about stuff like that. Like that type of stuff. You don't talk about stuff like that. But it's not like no one knows about it. Like, people know about trading and stuff for years, and working for to get money in video games in different ways. So it's not like it's something that's it's not known. It just require a lot of time and patience. That's all. For which I do not have. I'm doing side hustles which aren't paying a lot of money, but end of the week I get an extra $100, $200 in bread without even getting off of my ass in my own house. When I go to work, come home, end of the week, get a easy 100 or so doing some at home or online side hustles, and those things are perfectly legal. But I ain't getting into any of that stuff. There's no capture. I remember some dumb guy saying that that stuff isn't legal. But like, yeah, of course it is. Otherwise, those companies would have gotten sued and taken down many years ago. It's the same as Uber. Just because you get inside of a freaking car and drive and pick up people and take them from place to place using your own goddamn car doesn't make it illegal. It's part of a business. You're just not in the office of the business. You're at home, you get a call, you go pick them up, you make money from Uber online, everything checks out, blah blah blah, camera safety, you record yourself so you make sure if any of the customers or clients that you picked up ever say some shit, the camera is in the car to see what you're doing and what they're doing. So all you do is go to work. Hell, even if you're in your car and you're eating in your car and you're playing video games in your car and you don't turn the camera on until you go to work, you know? And when you're driving, you don't turn the camera on until you pick them up. And when you finish your job, you turn the camera off. That type of stuff. So when you're working the same online, doing online stuff. When you're doing your work, you work, and you do the job. Does it really matter that you're doing it from your house instead of your car? It doesn't matter. The location of where you're doing the work, at home work, people pay you for doing at home work. It's no different from you being in your car, which is your home, to do the work. Some people are just too slow, man. Or maybe they're outdated, or they don't understand the world that they're in, the digital world. So there are no capture missions here. So if I do 4 exterminate missions, that may take a while. So I'll just do this and call it a day. The sole purpose of the video was to do a Uriel test, not really to do many missions anyway. And also, the video was to warn people of scam games and to tell them that certain games aren't compatible on certain systems. So you got a little education in this video, and if you have a Mac or a Chromebook, certain games I spoke about are not compatible. Warframe is not compatible on the Mac. Path of Exiles 2, I believe Fortnite is as well. Yeah. I believe Call of Duty Warzone is not compatible on the Mac as well. or on the Chrome. And Final Fantasy 14 is compatible on a Mac and a MacBook Air, but unfortunately you have to pay for the Final Fantasy 14's Final Fantasy subscription, which is the same as paying for a PlayStation Plus subscription, in order to play online using their own personal, better than everybody else's subscription, their own personal subscription. Which is still weird to me. They have their own in-game subscription, but many of their Final Fantasy games are on PlayStation. It's just weird to me. The game known as League of Legends used to be on PlayStation 4, but it's no longer on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. That was compatible, I believe, with the Mac, but it's no longer. Path of Exiles 1 is compatible with a Mac, but Path of Exiles 2 is not. And Path of Exiles 2, even if you do get it, you have to pay for the PlayStation Plus subscription to do multiplayer, which is not good. It's because Path of Exiles 2 is not free to play, but Path of Exiles 1 is free to play. So Path of Exiles 1 is compatible on Mac, Microsoft, and other PCs, and it's in the Steam store. Whereas Path of Exiles 2 is limited to only Microsoft. So you got a bit of education there. Oh yeah, Genshin Impact is also not compatible on in Macs and Apples and Chromes, but it's compatible on Microsoft, and that's also a gacha game.
Shine that light of yours over here for a second.